All right, this is a quick summary of, get out of there, reverse search, a summary of this GitHub issue, which was my attempt to try to make a more, I guess, holistic color scheme settings such that when I do one keyboard shortcut, I switch my operating system color scheme, and that transitively goes down to the applications, my terminal, and my Vim configuration, and other things. And I was able to successfully do that. And I recorded myself actually doing the implementation. Those videos are going to be up soon. Yeah, still a few hours away, but I just want to record a quick summary. So in the spirit of keeping it quick, I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to do Command-Shift-D, and that's going to turn my system into the dark mode. And as you can see, it changes GitHub because I told GitHub to follow my system settings. You can see it changed my terminal here. And if I edit a file, I have a dark mode setting there as well. And if I opened up VS Code, and actually even if I open up Explorer, you can see that Explorer is in dark mode. I can go here, and I'll actually open this up in Visual Studio Code because this is the AutoHotKey script that performs this magic. And you can see that now Visual Studio Code is in dark mode as well. But just for sake, it's daytime where I am right now, and so I want to look at it on a brighter screen. So I'm going to go Windows key Shift L for light. And now we can see that Visual Studio changed, my terminal changed. If we go back to GitHub, it changed, and everything's back to a bright setting. And yes, this is all done through AutoHotKey. And AutoHotKey will do two things. One, it's going to run this PowerShell code here to modify the registry settings where the theme is defined. And it's going to invoke a shell script that's inside my WSL instance that is going to augment the background. Oops. And it's going to invoke this script. And so this script is going to put into a file in the root to my home directory that's going to set the background to either light or dark. I'm not doing any defensive error checking here, so I could say background foo and it would just break stuff. And I've removed a tool that I was using, which was called Alacrity Color Scheme, because it required Python, it required installing a module. Its main purpose was to modify the Alacrity config file. By removing this Alacrity color scheme, if you browse the comments, you'll see that a lot of code has been removed. I've narrowed it down to, I have a config file that I can just replace one of the YAML configs. And this is working because I guess you could say I vendored, or I defined the different color schemes inside the config file, and I used YAML anchors and references to specify the colors. And so that background script is just modifying line 68 here and changing which config I'm referencing. And one of the reasons I want to do this was using the Alacrity color scheme, and along with like the schemes or themes that I was importing, the background color for the light theme was exactly the same as the bright white, which meant that things like these numbers in top didn't show up because they matched the background color. And that was really irritating. And I didn't want to go through the process of forking some transitive dependency in order to make it all work. And so I said, screw it. How about I remove all the dependencies and just use good old scripting to do this? And it turned out it's a lot less code, a lot less fewer abstractions, fewer file copies going around. And I'm overall much happier with the solution. Other thing of note is that, yeah, I'm using a tool called Git Delta, and I had to, This line 3 was previously invoking a command of Alacrity color scheme to see what the current theme was. And I was sort of happy with the hack that I was able to put in place, which was just to look at this vimrc background file that I'm catting and see if it has dark or light in the contents of the file. So completely brittle and hacky. I love it. I was able to switch Git Delta, this wrapper script, from using Alacrity color scheme to good old catting a file and grepping. The video of the entire implementation will be up soon. It's about a little over 2 hours long, and that's primarily because I did something, I don't know what, but I screwed up my Vim color scheme in the process of this, and I couldn't really explain how or why. And after a little bit of a pause, I went for a walk and came back to it, and then did a little bit of an overhaul of that again ended up with a simpler solution, which I was really happy with. But I wasn't happy with the fact that I couldn't really explain why things didn't work and why they now do work with the new setting. So anyways, that's the demo of essentially just two keyboard shortcuts running in AutoHotKey to make it trivial to switch my themes, and not only switch my themes of the operating system, but comprehensively through my entire development stack. So hope you enjoyed that, and hope to publish more of these overly verbose implementation videos in the near future.